Hi there. Welcome back to our sharing session after reading our Bible. And today I'm sharing the lessons from Leviticus 14 to 15. So the skin diseases we talked about yesterday, like I said, referred mostly to leprosy. And in chapter 14, God gave instructions to Moses to give the people about cleansing from leprosy, which was basically ceremonial purification. We see a very lengthy and thorough process required for the ceremonial purification. The person is inspected more than once. So this is for a person who has leprosy or who is confirmed to have had leprosy, and then healed, right? So he or she is inspected more than once by the priest and allowed into the camp, but not into their tent. So even when they are allowed into the camp for 7 days, they must stay outside of their tent, and then and they must shave off all their hair twice. So they'll shave even their eyebrows. So they shave it the first time, and then after it grows back again, they shave it again. And finally, they have to offer both sin and burnt offerings to the Lord. I love how God again made provision for those who couldn't afford the big animals, like the bulls and the rams and all of that, but they were able to, bring either grain or birds. Even houses contaminated with mildew got an almost similar treatment, with it finally being destroyed if it was a serious case. Wow, imagine that. I thought about how many houses in Lagos get destroyed. Sorry, I digress. In chapter 15, the Lord instructs Moses and Aaron regarding people being ceremoniously unclean due to bodily discharge. Anyone with bodily discharge was declared unclean, and all who touched them or anything that they had been in contact with would be unclean until evening, and they must wash their clothes and be bathed as required by the purification process, and it is similar to the previously described cleansing process that I spoke about. The same applied to men and women following sexual activity, and women during their monthly cycles. This reminded me of the woman with the issue of blood and gave me more insight into the limitations that she had to face. So with everything that was said here, she literally did not have a life because the process was done in mind for like a woman for like a week, and then this woman had this condition for over 12 years. So really, she couldn't even be in contact with anybody. She was considered unclean. Anything she touched, anywhere she went, yeah, I can imagine, how much she suffered. All these instructions were important, right, to guard the people, else they would defile the tabernacle unknowingly and die. Now here's what I got to know about God. God justifies and sanctifies us. Justification essentially is pronouncing us as clean, or pronouncing a person as clean. You've justified them. While sanctification is the actual cleansing process, and that makes us like Him. It's an act of purification and a lifelong process. So sanctification is not something that you do now, like how purification, once you do the ritual baths and blah, 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 you're purified. But sanctification is lifelong. It is God's process of, justifying and, purifying us, right? The illustration of these ordinances show that those who have been healed and justified and then sanctified are made whole. So, that was what I took. Even though, it's a bit, obviously not a bit, it is very Old Testament-y, but applying it to like real life now. And that's one thing I actually wanted to say, like a tip. Reading this, some things that some of these laws are outdated. I don't know how this applies, but always just try to see how to, apply it to your life today, or apply the process to what God is still doing till date. Thank you for joining me today. Very excited to still be, having you guys on here. And I am excited tomorrow we will continue and share lessons from Leviticus 16 to 18. See you then.